Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, fight fans. We are in Vacaville, California, here at the Georgie Duke Gym in Vacaville, California. Boxing Profiles TV on YouTube. I am your co-host, DJ Ed Kombong. The man of the hour is here, though. Next to me, the man, the myth, the legend, your main host and head coach here at the Georgie Duke, Coach Prince. Coach Tonzo Prince, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing today, brother?
Doing well, doing well. This is actually the first real show of the summer because we had some technical difficulties last week where I believe more than half of the show had no audio. But hey, we are here today. Shout out to all the other coaches that are here. Coach Gio, Coach Jose, Coach Francisco. Shout out to Coach Jay and Coach Mac, who are not here currently, but those are the other coaches that round out the coaches here at the Georgie Duke. Once again, we tell you guys every week, we've been saying for the past, how long have we been on air? It's been well over a year now we've been on air, right?
Yeah, about a year. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually, almost a year. Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah,
Almost a year. Almost 52 weeks. We tell you every week, make sure to subscribe. Boxing Profiles TV on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Facebook. Follow on Instagram as well. I don't know if Coach Prince got a TikTok yet.
No, I don't have a TikTok.
Not yet.
He'll
be working on it. He'll be working on it.
Yeah, I'll definitely be doing that.
Yes, but
Go ahead, Coach.
I was gonna say yes. Calling me Coach. I ain't no coach.
Not yet.
I'm the furthest thing from it. Okay, so jumping a little bit around. If you guys are just following us, like obviously shout out to all of our followers and those that have been watching week after week. Even if you've been sporadically watching us or intermittently been watching us, thank you for doing that. But a little bit of background with me. I've only been doing boxing here and training with boxing with Coach Prince here for the past about 9 months, 9 or 10 months. Originally met Coach Prince doing announcing, much as I'm doing right now on camera, but I was doing it live at the first inaugural fight night at the Duke, which was here last year in August. It was the end of August, and so that's how I met Coach Prince, was by doing that. And hit it off. I told him, you know, I've been a long-time boxing fan, long-time MMA, just fight fan, watched a lot of commentary through the years, and he was like, would you like to train and would you like to be on my show, on my podcast show? Couldn't pass it up.
No.
You
don't want to pass it up.
Yeah, didn't want to. Not only was I helping, help promote the gym here, but he's going to be teaching me firsthand.
Exactly.
And I've been training here twice a week, sometimes once a week. You know, Prince has been, he's helped me a lot. I've had, like I said, no fight training prior to being here. Now, he's helping me out a lot. I've been watching a lot of these young cats, a lot of these young lions growing up here. A lot of these guys have amazing amateur records, and they're only in their teens. And I'm humbled by them, being surrounded by a lot of these guys. They, you know what I'm saying? It's that old cliche, eye of the tiger, but it's real talk over here at the Georgie Duke. We're training tigers here, tigers, bears, wolves, lions, no matter what you call it. These cats here, these young guys here are savages. We're making you savages here. Straight up. Straight up. Oh, yes, we are on board.
We're on board,
I got
baby.
confirmation.
That's it.
I got confirmation here that we are on YouTube. How's the audio sound, though, Prince?
Well, audio sounds really good. You know, people can hear us. We're on YouTube currently right now. We should be on Facebook
now that
also.
I know that we're officially on YouTube, audio was working, want to make sure that you guys, this is just not just me and Prince behind on camera, all right?
Yeah.
You guys, we're nothing without y'all. We need you guys to hop on, comment. We're going to talk about some stuff tonight. We need your comments because, like I said, we lost a little bit of momentum. We were doing this week after week for a while. We were having people watch. Shout out again to all of our viewers that were following us. We need y'all to come back. We need y'all to invite people back on our podcast because, look, I know it's summer. People are doing their thing. People are on vacation. But we got to promote the fight night that's happening in November. So with that said, let's talk about that first. In November, do we have any of the fighters here currently that are supposed to be fighting in November as well?
Yes, we do. We got one fighter, one young man right here. This is Christian.
Yes, I see Christian here off camera.
This is Christian.
He's fought recently as well, though. Christian has fought earlier this year. He won that fight as well. Shout out to Christian over here, who's been training. Coach Gio as well was instrumental with that win as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So he's here.
He's here. We also gonna have where's that my monster at? Diego. We got Diego that's here. Diego is here somewhere.
Yes, Diego. There he is. He's in the ring. So Diego is fighting as well.
Diego's back up there.
Is Julian here? Is he gonna be fighting as well?
We got Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah's
gonna be fighting. Isaiah's gonna be fighting. Okay.
In the back, we got back there.
We got Oz.
Osmont back there.
We got Oz.
I call him the master of disaster because with that jab that he got, it's just unbelievable.
So
brother.
we already got 4 fighters here that are supposed to be fighting. Like I said, We're training them. We're supposed to be making sure that they stay healthy. So hopefully they stay healthy. Hopefully they're not doing any crazy thing like rock climbing and skateboarding. You know what I'm saying? Because we're training here. Like I said, here with Coach Prince, we're training wolves, but we're training them intelligently. It's about intelligent training. It's about making sure that our fighters stay healthy. And so we're sparring in here, but we're not going 100%, never that. You know, like Prince said, we don't want to start any in-gym wars here. That's right. Because we're trying to keep everyone healthy. We're trying to sharpen that iron. Yes. Have those swords, sharpen those swords. Yes. You know, and that's only done with smart, intelligent training.
Exactly. So we also have back there in the back. He's taking a rest right now, and he's on break right now. Is Francisco? He's one of our junior coaches.
Yes. Shout out Francisco.
He's a 11-time international champion, one-time gold medalist, and he will be fighting on November 1st, fight night at the Duke. Also,
amazing.
Now, when we start talking about that. All I can say is, I just hope that other fighters that they're ready, and because we're gonna be ready.
Yes, and see, because that's the thing. I want to let you guys know. Have to reiterate it because this is the first show that we've had again this summer. Fight night at the Duke this year, November 1st. It is happening. It is not tentative. We are not waiting for it. The sign is on the door. If you are here in Solano County, especially if you are here in Vacaville, make sure you mark your calendar. You have to be here November 1st. I will be in the ring, not fighting. I will be announcing. I'll be doing my ring announcing thing. I'll be calling the fights. Right now, there's supposed to be 20 fights of pure action from young to, I don't believe there's any old folks that are going to be fighting, right? All the fighters are going to be fighting, they're going to be in their 20s, probably the oldest, right?
We're going to have different age groups.
Yes.
We're going to have our young kids.
We're going to have the young kids, yes, of course.
We're going to have the
juniors. We going to have any 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds this time? Maybe?
No seniors. We won't have any seniors
no senior boxers, not yet. This time.
Not this time, but we will have, I think we got a couple 21-year-olds that we will be
exactly. So we're going to have adult. We're going to have adult fights. We're going to have team fights, pre-team fights, and kid fights as well. So I'm telling you, 20-plus fights. There's going to be gyms represented throughout Solano County and in Contra Costa County, I believe, as well, right?
Contra Costa County. We're going to have gyms from pretty much everywhere. If they want to enter into the bout, then they can enter in. We're gonna more than likely.
So what's the easiest way they can enter into the bout? So I have to go to the city of Vacaville.
No. That's gonna be how they register. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna have it to where they could. All right, guys, have a good one, guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have them go to USA Boxing, and they will be able to get all the information from USA Boxing itself, and then I'll make sure that the flyer gets out to all the different gyms and everything else by way of advertising through the city of Vacaville, as well as us going through social media.
Yes, because that was instrumental and that was integral, especially for the first fight night that we had here. Because like you said, there's a lot of gyms represented. We want the same representation, if not more, because we know there's a lot of great fighters out there. No knock to you other fighters, but just as Prince was saying prior to us going on this little rant here, no disrespect to you guys. Respect to you guys. We can be friends outside of the fights. But you guys better be ready for our fighters here because we're not coming to play. As we say here all the time, boxing is, yes, a sport, but you don't play boxing. There's no such thing as playing boxing because even here in sparring, even here in practice, things can take a turn for the worse. He's seen it throughout his career, being his amateur fighter and pro fighter as well. Not pro.
Never.
No
Amateur.
Let me rewind that.
No
amateur
background. I went straight pro.
Oh, he went straight pro. Excuse me. No amateur.
No amateur.
Straight pro. So he's seen it in his pro career. And as a coach, he's seen things happen.
I'm that guy that people look and say, man, where'd you find this dude from?
Nah.
I'm that dude. No.
Nah.
I'm that guy that they'd be like, okay, where'd you find this dude? This dude ain't. He's like, whoa.
At first, they're like, man, where'd you find this dude? But then when they see you, they're like, where'd you find this dude from? That's what it is, right?
Well, it's like this.
It changes, right?
It's like this. We always want to have a surprise for everybody. You know what I'm saying? No matter
You have
what.
to.
You got to have that surprise.
You have to.
And, you know, because
and
again,
that's and you know, and going back to that, you know, and that's exactly
prepare for
why if
everything.
you guys have watched some, you know, jumping around a little bit, if you've seen, you know, like I said, perfect time to shout us out again, Boxing Profiles TV on YouTube. Hopefully you're watching us on YouTube. If not, hopefully you're watching us on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook, please subscribe.
Yes.
Boxing Profile TV on
Yes.
YouTube. Aside from our commentating, you'll also find a lot of shorts. But with those shorts, like Prince was saying, we got to keep the secret sauce. We got to keep some of the chef recipes to us.
That's right.
We can't show you too much. If you're here in our gym, then of course we're going to give you the recipe, the cookbook,
That's right.
you
That's
know,
right.
as you train here. But nonetheless,
yeah.
if you guys go on our YouTube, Prince is straight up giving you guys free game. He's giving you guys free wisdom, straight up.
Dropping knowledge on them, dropping
you are.
knowledge.
Because
And
even
they
your
can
little
listen.
30-second, 1-minute snippets,
Yeah.
that's enough for someone to watch it intently
Yeah.
and really heed the words that you're saying in there and watching the motions.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can become a
Well-
fighter. You don't even have to be here in this gym to become a competent,
Yeah.
you know, and that's just based on the clips that he has on his YouTube. And that's
Yeah.
not gassing them
You know,
up. That's straight up.
Well, not
Like,
only that,
follow
I-
our YouTube, please.
Yeah, yeah. I just also just put up just recently.
Yes.
I did more. I think it was like an 8 or 9 minute video, and then what we were talking about and what I was actually demonstrating is the jab, how you learn to deliver the jab, how you learn to position your hands.
That's free game.
Okay, and okay, because a lot of the fighters are not using their jabs anymore. The jab is the most important punch in boxing, and when these guys realize how dangerous the jab is, then they're gonna start using it. Okay, but you know,
Let's rewind that. Wait. Let's rewind that again. One more time for the people in the back. The jab is the most important and
Punch in boxing.
the most dangerous punch in the toolbox.
That's right.
Your jab.
That's right.
That's what I've learned from this guy in the past 10 months. You work off your jab. Your jab is what gets you in. That's what
That's right.
sets up
That's right.
that combo. That's
The
what
jab-
sets up that two.
Sets up everything, right? And another thing that people don't seem to understand right now, and you know, it's just the way the fighters fight now, and it's how they transitioned into it. Footwork takes you in. Footwork takes you out.
See?
Now,
Hope is not lost, see?
one of my really good friends told me, you know what? Hey man, he said your fighters are really good. They got great hands. He said, but you know what? Let's work more on their feet. Their feet take you in. Their feet take you out. And the guy that told me that was Hector Camacho Jr.
Hector Camacho Jr. Shout out Hector
All right?
Camacho Jr.
Shout out to Hector Camacho Jr. And he's, like I said, a really good friend of mine. And let me tell you guys something, bro. You know what? He is absolutely right. And if you guys don't know who Hector Camacho Jr. is, okay,
You better recognize who his dad is too.
Or
Kidding me?
Hector Camacho Senior.
You better recognize
You
young
guys
fighters.
you guys need to go to YouTube. You need to type those names in.
Pernell Whitaker.
Yes, you need to watch these videos. And I'm telling you guys right now, you guys need to know who these guys are, because I'm telling you, these guys are huge.
Talk
in
about
boxing.
footwork, yes,
talk
footwork.
footwork,
And so that's integral to what you teach here as well.
Speed, everything, bro. Learning how to use the jab. And
So
like I
jab, speed, footwork.
Yes.
Like you said, 9 minutes that he just posted on our YouTube.
Yep.
That's stuff that he's teaching our young fighters in here. The fighters that will be fighting on November 1st. These are drills and rudimentary actions that he's has them hammer out rep after rep after rep, because he knows repetition,
baby.
practice
Yes, sir.
is what gets you there. It's
That's
what
right.
gets you there.
That's right.
It's what gets you there.
And that's the thing when it comes to this, right? This game is so serious now that even as an amateur, you got look. You're gonna have to take this serious, man, because this sport is very serious. Like you said, you do not
don't play.
boxing.
You don't play.
Okay, and that's why I don't. That's why it's controlled sparring. It's technical sparring. Because I want my fighters to learn. I want them to improve. I want them to be dangerous. I want them to know things that the other fighters don't know. Because you know what? Here's the thing. You could get a fighter that's in shape and he could throw punches the whole round. All it takes is just one good shot and catch him in between the punches and put him to sleep. Because that's what most of the fighters are doing now. They just want to go in there. They just want to try to just try to bang you out. That's what they're doing. They're not using a lot of boxing skills. They're in there trying to bang you out and get you out of there as quick as possible. That's a lot of the guys' strategy. Just bang them out. just take it to them and just bang them out.
And there's other ways,
but you can't do that
to
every
fight.
fighter.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't
there's
do that
other ways to
fighter.
fight, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And who am I to say, like I said, because I'm not even an amateur. I'm a novice of the novices. But while I've been here, that is one thing I do know is that if you are fundamentals take you.
Your fundamentals is very, very important.
But you have to be able to adapt.
You got to be able to adapt.
Whoever you're fighting. You can't just always say, I'm going to go in there and just punches and volume. Because when that doesn't happen, and like Mike Tyson said, everybody's plan changes.
Got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Until you get punched in the mouth. Right? What happens when they get punched in the mouth?
Well, see,
you got to plan for that,
well,
right?
not only that, though.
Plan for the unplannable.
Right, exactly. So what happens is when you throw your best punch and you can't knock this dude out, now what?
Now what?
Now what? And see, this is the thing. This is why I train the fighters here to do everything. Be able to do everything. Be able to bang, be able to box,
right?
Be complete, be able to use footwork,
versatility.
Be able to fight on the inside. You got to be versatile. If you ain't versatile in this game, you ain't gonna get very far. You're gonna go to a certain point and you're gonna fall off the ladder. That's just
how
the way
it goes,
it is. That's
right?
just the way it is. Yeah, that's just the way it is.
Because that's the thing. And it's because there's other fighters that are putting in the work.
Yes, sir.
And that are sharpening the skills.
Yeah.
When other folks are, like you said, if they're not adapting, they're not doing what they need to do to survive.
That's right. Yeah. Now, so while we still on this subject, before we start talking about the next subject, for all the guys that fought last year on the Georgie Duke card,
shout out to you guys.
Yeah, big shout out to all those gyms that fought here. We want you guys to come back. And the reason why we want you guys to come back because number one, we had a great show last year.
Yes,
and we're trying to.
It was filled. It was packed inside of that gym.
It was sold out.
The energy was electric. It was amazing.
Yeah, we were sold out, and we want these fighters to come back because we're gonna eventually do a tournament. And when we do a tournament. I'm not going to talk too much about that. I'll talk about that on November, but I'm just going to say we want to do a tournament, more than likely possibly a 2-day tournament, maybe a 3-day tournament, and we're working our way up to it because we want to help amateur boxing rise to the level in Northern California.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, here's the prize that you guys are going to get for if you participate at the Georgie Duke this year right here. This is the prize right here.
Now you guys zoom in on your cameras. This thing is heavy right here.
This is a heavy belt right here, guys.
Look at this.
This is the belt that we're going to be giving away.
Look at this right here.
This monster right here is a 25-pound belt right here. Okay, some of these guys got this last year. We still got a couple of these belts right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be give these away.
This is real metal.
It's real, yeah. It's
and leather.
Yeah. It is.
Has the faux fur on the back.
Yes.
Amazing piece.
Amazing piece of belt.
Amazing accolade.
Yes. Now, for the fight of the night, we're going to give a different belt for the fight of the night. So somebody.
Can you believe that? There's actually going to be 2 belts.
There's going to be 2 belts.
Grabs.
There's 2 belts going to be up for grabs. 2 belts up for grabs. And now what happens is we're supposed to have 20 bouts. So that's 40 fighters. 40 fighters will have an opportunity to earn the Fighter of the Night belt.
Amazing.
Okay, and here's the Fighter of the Night belt. This is the Fighter of the Night belt.
Look at this.
This is the Georgie Duke Fighter of the Night belt right here.
You've just witnessed 2 amazing belts.
So
that are up for grabs.
Up for grabs,
November
guys.
1st.
November 1st.
Actually, let's get this other one and put both of them up right here.
Both of them up right here.
Look at these. Look at these belts right here.
Right here, guys. These are the prize right here, guys. Showing you the prize right here. Okay. Now these things.
Coveted.
There we go, guys. Right here.
Coveted.
Right here.
Let me flip this back over here.
We'll put this back. Okay. Oh, yeah. So what we'll do, we're gonna sit these back down here on the floor here, bro, and let you guys know that is the prize.
Yes.
So I'm telling you guys right now, for all you guys that's gonna participate in the Georgie Duke fight night, be ready. Come here. Be ready to fight and give your best performance, guys.
You have
your best performance.
Please do, because we're going to be bringing our A game, and that's the thing.
Yes, sir.
Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. The results come in the gym.
That's right.
That's the thing. And this man has taught me that. And I'm obviously not going to be fighting November 1st. But who's to say 2026, I might be ready. We'll see.
Hey, I might come out of retirement and
You know, for these belts.
Just joking, man.
For these belts and to be able to represent this gym, the Georgie Duke Gym in Vacaville, like I said, you guys. So once again, I can't plug this enough.
Yeah.
If you are here in Solano County, shout out to all the other gyms that are around this area. But if you do not belong to any gym, or if there's a gym out there that's not impressing you like they should be, come to the Georgie Duke in Vacaville. Give us a try. We are right here in downtown Vacaville, city-backed Georgie Duke Vacaville Boxing Gym. All right? Boxing Profiles TV on YouTube. Yes, City of Vacaville backed.
Yes, sir.
And we're putting in real work here.
Yeah, and okay, so this weekend there is we got Amanda Serrano fighting Katie Taylor this weekend. Guys.
Again, this is part,
this weekend.
Yeah,
yeah. This is I think it's part 3.
Oh, part 3.
So we're gonna find out what's going on. I think that they need to make sure that Katie Taylor is not using her head and headbutting her, because the last time Amanda Serrano's eye basically, well, she had a big old gash up in here, was hanging down. You know, I thought that was pretty sadistic of her using her head, and the referee really wasn't saying a whole lot about it.
Yeah, right.
He should have disqualified her, because he, you know, at some point, you know, she's headbutting, and it's like, you know, some fighters do that, and the referee got to take control over that right from the beginning. Right. You know, because I actually thought that Amanda Serrano won the fight, but you know, judges said something different. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens now.
We'll see what happens. That's supposed to be a good. I know that we got. What's her name? Sugar Niche. She is a champion, and she's out of Australia. She's supposed to be fighting real soon also. So I'm looking forward to watching her fight. Right. She's a young lady that she had fought, and what really impressed me about her was she had a big old gash in her forehead, and she kept on fighting.
Kept on going, huh?
Yeah, she won the world title that night. I was like, amazing. Whoa, it was amazing.
Amazing resolve,
So,
amazing.
So
like
she was,
said,
she's amazing.
Showing fortitude, right?
Yeah, lots of fortitude. Through. She was good. You know, so and I mean, women's boxing is starting to pick up really good too.
Amazing.
Which is amazing. Now let's talk.
Clarissa Shields is a name that I hear over and over again as well.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Clarissa Shields. I think she needs to be challenged a lot more. You know, I don't know why a lot of people are not stepping up to her. You know, she's really good.
I'd like to see a fight between her. I don't know if Holly Holm. I don't know if you've heard of Holly Holm. She was a UFC kickboxer but went into boxing. I think that would be a good fight.
But Holly Holmes was she's
a boxing now.
She was she used to box before she got into kickboxing.
Right.
She was a champion. She was a champion in both sports.
Wow.
So that would be a good fight. But you know, Clarissa Shields is going up and down in weight. We'll see what happens with her. You know, Clarissa Shields, she got a fight coming up too with somebody it might be a tough fight. We'll see what happens.
Right.
But you know, we got the big fight that's supposed to be coming up.
Got a big fight. Hold on. Before we talk about that, and about, like I said, that was the main thing that we're going to be talking about. We're going to try to probably talk about it for the next 7 to 10 minutes. We'll keep it short. Yeah. But we're going to be talking about right now, right after this thing I'm going to be doing, we're talking about Turkey and about the fights that he talked about Shakur Stevenson, I guess, and the shrinking ring, but we'll also be talking about Canelo and Terrence Bud Crawford. All right, but wait, before I do that, sorry, Prince, because he lets me do this all the time.
Ahead, handle it.
Right here, family and friends. I don't know if you can see that right there. You see Prince's handsome smiling face there, but right here, Knock 'em Out Pest Control. This episode sponsored by Knock 'em Out Pest Control, located in Fairfield, California. Shout out to my Knock 'em Out Pest Control family. I do sales for Knock 'em Out Pest Control, so yes, I am biased towards them. But yo, honestly, I started out as a customer first. The reason I became an employee with Knock 'em Out is because of the services they provided with getting the rodents and the bugs and all that nasty stuff out of my house, out of my residence, out of my baby was, just a few months old at that time. I've known them for over 10 years. They will take care of you as well. Shout out to Knock 'em Out Pest Control. Holler at us, please, for all of your pest control needs. Once again, we are located in Fairfield, California, but we service everywhere in the Bay Area. We service here in Solano County, Vacaville, Sassoon, Fairfield, Vallejo, Dixon, Winters, Sacramento, which is obviously a Solano County. Contra Costa County, though. All the counties in the Bay Area, we go all the way to Marin, San Francisco, everywhere. If you're having pest control problems, whether it's bugs such as spiders, ants, roaches, if you have rodents, mice, bats, birds, all of that stuff, it ain't just our name, but that's why it's a perfect. It's a match made in heaven. We knock them out. Knock them out. Pest control. Once again, follow us. Knock them out. Pest control. Shout out to Knock 'em Out Pest Control.
That's right.
The sponsors of this episode here of Box Profiles TV. With that said, see, look, Prince here. That's what I said. His coaching don't stop. Even with him being on air, he's showing the fighters how to pop that jab. He's giving them wisdom. He's giving them advice while he's here on the other side of the camera while they're there off camera. But, yo, Prince, with that said, let's talk a little bit about, so you told me off camera it's false. Like, all that stuff that they've been putting on social media is all fake news, talking about the actual shrinking ring. They're not going to actually physically shrink the ring as the rounds go by, are they? Please clarify that for that. Okay. Because, like I said, I know now, only because of you, but like I said, that just goes to show you people don't believe all that stuff you read on the internet or you see on the internet. Because Prince said it's not real.
Okay, well, number one, it's not real because, if you actually have a shrinking ring, I mean, seriously, what are you doing? That's not boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's not boxing anymore. That's more of a entertainment.
That's entertainment.
Yeah,
that's
entertainment.
That's
crap.
sideshow.
Yeah, that's a sideshow stuff. So it's not. What he meant was, what Turki Al-Sheikh meant was, he's just going to have a smaller ring. He's not going to have a 22 by 22. He's going to have. He's even going to have less because our ring currently here is a 20 by 20. So he's going to go even smaller. He's probably going to go to an 18 by 18. So he's going to make the ring smaller because of, he claims, this is what Turki claims, that he don't like the Tom and Jerry effect, which is, the cat chasing the mouse the whole time. But now, Turki doesn't have a full understanding of what boxing really is. Because, number one, the science of boxing is you hit and don't get hit. That is the science of boxing. He called one of the greatest fighters of all time, Muhammad Ali, a runner. He called Sugar Ray Leonard a runner. Okay? But these wait. Okay, let me show you something. Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard, they put on some of the best fights of this whole decade.
Of all time.
You understand? And this clown, Turki Al-Sheikh, is going to sit here and going to call them a runner because he doesn't like it.
Who's he, though?
Exactly, because he got money. Because he has money, you can't dictate to the sport of boxing, and you cannot dictate to the fighters. Turki, what you're doing is bull crap. Okay? I would say exactly what it is, but we on the air.
Whoops.
What you're doing is bull crap. Okay? You cannot, and you are completely wrong because you started your own organization to try to take away from these fighters. What's next, Turki? Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Soon as the fighters start getting really touched up, it's going to be excessive holding is what it's going to be. Okay? It's going to be excessive holding, and then fighters are going to start losing control because of they can't move, because if they move, Turki's going to be like, oh, no. What? Who knows? He might disqualify him. He can't come in and change the sport of boxing. And this is why I said I would never, ever fight on a card. If I was a fighter, I would never fight on a card. I don't care how much money he's got. I don't care. And the reason why is because I'm not going to sell my soul to a guy like that. You understand?
See, that's the thing. So that's the thing. Months ago, if you look back on there, Prince's opinion was probably different of Turki because he was starting to do.
He was doing some good things.
But now,
no. What he's trying to do is he's trying to control the fighters. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And the reason why he's doing that is because boxing really doesn't have that representation like the NBA does, the NFL does. So you get one man to come in and want to control boxing. Currently, we used to have a guy that was like that. His name was Don King, that controlled boxing, right? And controlled
I don't know if you guys remember Don King. I remember Don King.
Now we got Turki, but only difference is this. Turki is in another country.
Right.
Okay, we have something here that's called the Muhammad Ali Act that Turkey can't go against. That's why he wants to do his fight over there in his country, because you don't have to listen to the rules. If he brings that fight here to Vegas, he has to follow the rules of the United States and the Muhammad Ali Act. Okay, so the bottom line to it is this. Okay, look, he can't dictate to the fighters on how they should fight. In fact, if he does do that and he tries to write that in the contract, the fighters should sue him. Because you can't tell a fighter how to fight.
Right.
You can't tell a fighter he can't use his legs. What's next? You can't use a jab? He can't throw any left hooks?
Like you said, it's
you know what I'm saying?
boxing.
Well, I mean, my whole point of it is when you want to tell somebody what they can and can't do, why are you trying to control them? What, I mean, really? Really? So that tells me about Turkey's experience in boxing. He really doesn't have any experience in boxing. He just wants to see a great fight. Well, you have great fights when you let the fighters use their legs. Am I saying the fighter should run? No, I'm not saying the fighter should run. Right. What I'm saying is let the fighters be who they are. Don't try to diminish them. Don't try to take away from them. Dictate. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. What is this, slavery? I mean, seriously.
With that said, let's jump a little bit. Do you think he's going to try to implement any crazy type of rules or anything like that for the Crawford-Canelo fight?
Well, at this point, you can't put nothing past Turkey Al-Sheikh right now, because if he comes up with that crazy rule, no telling what he might do. He might want you to tie one hand behind your back. That was, I'm just being a little, right. I'm being excessive.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, when a man comes up with a rule like that, you can't put anything past him. You understand? That's how I see him currently right now.
So with that said, let's pivot a little bit then, since obviously he's the one who's funding the Canelo Crawford fight. But
technically he's not funding the Canelo Crawford fight. He is the representative of the king. He's not the one with the money.
Got it.
You understand? The king is the one with the money. Turkey is the they call this
ambassador.
Well, I don't even call him an ambassador. He's the guy that's managing, because look, he put on his pants just like I put on my pants. He ain't royalty. There's no royal blood in him anywhere. He's not his excellency to me. You just another man to me. That's all you will ever be.
So with that said, though,
yeah,
let's say like they don't implement any crazy rules. Let's just go back to what boxing's supposed to be. Do you still feel, as you did months ago, that Canelo will put the beats on Bud Crawford?
Yes, I think so.
You hear that? You heard that? Fans?
I'm not going to deny it. I got Canelo to win in the fight. I got Canelo winning the fight.
And how do you see it going? And if you were to predict or put money on it, which we don't want to solicit, like I said, disclaimer, we ain't telling you guys to put out money or nothing like that. But if it was up to Prince, who would you like? So Canelo, your money would be on Canelo.
Well, the fight
is going to go the distance.
The fight goes the distance. Canelo Alvarez wins the fight.
So I've heard people saying though that they don't think that Bud at that higher weight can go with the full rounders. They're saying that based on his inability to adapt to stamina, that if Canelo starts cracking him with some hard shots, he's going to get that air taken away before the people are saying. But like I said, this is online, and I don't know who these people are. It's not me. But they're saying that's going to end before the halfway of the fight.
Well, I'm not going to say that the fight's going to end halfway. I'm going to give Crawford his props. I'm going to give Crawford, because Crawford has shown that he is a
resilient.
He is a good, resilient, battle-tested boxer.
Great boxer.
Great boxer. But Canelo Alvarez has something to prove. You understand what I'm saying? And I think he has something to prove more than Bud does. Canelo Alvarez has got 2 losses on his record.
Right.
And one of the losses on his record...
Triple G?
No, not Triple G. He lost to Bivol.
And
he lost to Mayweather. So that Mayweather fight was the fight that Canelo never could live down. Okay? People people still talk about that fight, that Mayweather schooled him and he did this and he did that. But if you notice something, after Mayweather beat Canelo, Canelo got better and better and better and better and better. And then he ran into Bivol. He lost against Bivol. Now he's getting better and better and better.
Said he has something to
so
prove
so
now
he has
against
something
Bud Crawford,
to actually prove, and this is something that people are not talking about. Canelo has a chip on his shoulder. When a fighter has a chip on his shoulder, you got problems. Okay, with all that experience that he has, you got problems.
We're not talking about every
Okay?
fighter with a chip on the shoulder. We're talking about specifically.
We're talking specifics.
Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo Alvarez, you got problems. And I'm going to tell you something. Canelo Alvarez has got crazy, crazy head movement. I'm telling you. So, Bud, I'm telling you right now, is going to be missing a lot of punches, and Canelo is going to dig to Bud's body, his liver, and his spleen, and he is going to attack his sternum and his stomach. No one's done that to Canelo before. I mean, to Bud before. No one's attacked Bud in those kind of ways. I'm telling you, right straightforward. I'm telling you, because of Bud's ability, I'm telling you, he is going to attack Bud's body, and he's going to do it off the jab. Canelo is not just a slugger. Canelo's a great boxer as well.
He will do it off the jab, and that's the thing that I was going to say, just from my point of view, being just a spectator. So one thing that I've seen, and it was actually...
Wait, let me say something. Well, at this point, we all are spectators.
Right.
Okay? Whenever...
Well, I have much less experience than you, though,
No.
You know?
Even... Listen. Whenever you're watching another man inside the ring, I don't care if he was a professional fighter before or not. I don't care if he was a champion. You still are a spectator. No one can dictate who's really, really going to win. I can tell you my opinion. My opinion is Canelo's going to win the fight based upon the things that I see from him. But I don't really know if Canelo's going to win. Nobody really knows.
But
you know what I'm saying?
What I was going to say is, so I've seen videos for this. I'm not sure exactly who exposed it, who made the videos, but I've seen it in 2 of Bud's fights. And I'm not exactly sure which fights they were. But he was exposed. And they said if he does this against Canelo, he's going to get caught. But they said he has the tendency, because they showed the guys as he was going against, they would jab to the body.
Yeah.
Instead of him using his elbows to block and keep the guard up, he tends to try to parry out, which leaves his chin exposed.
Exactly.
Both fighters that they showed saw that him do it the first time, and they said, he did that the first time, let's try that again. Jab to the body, but fake it. Fake the jab to the body. He parries, thinking that's it, and they come across with that straight.
Yeah.
Both fighters knocked him down in those particular fights. I believe he went in to actually to win those fights, but nonetheless, it showed the holes, and like they were saying in that particular clip, if that happens to him with Canelo's power, that one shot, he might not be able to bounce back as spry as he did against those other 2 fighters. Because like they said, it was that jab to the body. Jab to the body, he parried it down. The guy fake jab to the body. Again, he tried to do it again. That head movement, he got off the line. And threw that too.
And he caught him.
Caught him flush. There was no hand up there to block those punches in both fights.
There's a couple things. Crawford's not a big. He don't move his head very well either. So when it comes to boxing, you got to be able to move your head with your punches. Okay. Another thing is Crawford when he fought Errol Spence. The reason why he beat Errol Spence up, when we saw it going back and look at the fight, and he beat Errol Spence up, number one, some people said Errol was weight drained. Regardless of weight drain or not, Errol Spence did not move his head. Right. You go back and look at that fight. You look at the fight, Errol Spence did not move his head. He was there to be hit. Canelo ain't going to be there to be hit. Right. His head's going to be, he's like I said, he's got crazy
he's also
head
be hitting while he's moving.
Exactly.
Which is a problem.
And he's going to be punching in between Crawford's punching, which is going to make it a lot harder for Crawford to be able to get on that defense like he did with Errol Spence, okay? Canelo is going to counter a lot of the things that Crawford is going to do. Now, Crawford might try to do the same thing to Canelo, because we got two fighters that are possibly, they say, on the same level. That's what they say. But we have
look, I mean, like I said, no disrespect to but what he has a great acumen, great record. Canelo, though,
he's got a great record too.
He does, yes. And the not to take away from whoever Bud's fought, but Canelo and his rogues gallery of people he's fought is nothing to be diminished.
I mean, nothing to be diminished. We can't diminish anything when it comes to either fighter.
Right.
Like I said, my opinion, I see Canelo winning. And one of the traditional things.
He thinks it's gonna go to the decision.
I think it's gonna go to the decision, and Canelo is gonna win the fight.
There you go.
I don't foresee a knockout. I foresee both fighters could get hurt. I don't see Crawford actually knocking Canelo out. That in itself is a problem, because he's fought at 154 and he was having problems with Madrimov. And Madrimov he's at 154. You going up to 168 now.
Right.
And he only had one fight since Madrimov. You understand what I'm saying? So, you got to be active. And when I say active, not in the gym and just sparring. You got to be active with actually fighting, because it makes a difference, bro.
Right.
It makes a difference when you're in there, Now, who knows? Maybe Bud might get lucky and catch Canelo.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe. You'll just have to watch, just like us. You'll have to watch and see. And hopefully Turkey doesn't pull any that BS stuff or some of that crazy stuff. All right, but yes, we're going to be ending up, because we actually are 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But once again, Boxing Profiles TV on YouTube. Subscribe, and be on the lookout for us, because starting in August, Prince is probably going to be doing the next two shows without me, because I will actually be out of town. However, back in August, or next in August, I should say back in August, we're jumping forward to August. In August, I will be back, and we're going to be doing shows every week, of course, to promote Fight Night at the Duke 2025, 20-plus fights, 5+ fighters here, maybe even more, we'll see, but at least 5 fighters here, homegrown fighters from the Duke that will be fighting at the Georgia Duke, Fight Night at the Duke 2025 here in Vacaville at the Georgia Duke Gym. Tickets are on sale as of now. Go on cityofvacaville.org, or is it .gov, I believe. Cityofvacaville.gov, excuse me. Cityofvacaville.gov. Go on Boxing Profiles TV on their Instagram and on their Facebook and YouTube. You'll be able to find us Eventbrite as well, I believe.
I'm gonna try to do the Eventbrite, so we can possibly do the like a pay-per-view.
There you go.
So I'm gonna be looking at either Eventbrite or Uscreen, one of the two.
All right.
Either way, I will let them know. Either way.
Either way, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout, please. We have a lot going on here, and like I said, exciting times, especially for November 1st. But up until then, yes, we're going to be putting the spotlight on some of these fighters, getting some of these fighters on this side of the camera as well to kind of pick their brain, talk a little bit about how they're feeling, what's going to happen. And like I said, we can't give their opponents too much. But we do want to give, our viewers out there kind of an entertaining view into the minds of our fighters here. Because, a lot of these fighters, they're in their teens, but they have the mental maturity and the mental muscle to take it to the top. And that's with this guy's tutelage as well, and along with these other coaches here. With that said, Coach Prince, always a pleasure. Like I said, this guy's my brother from another. You know what I'm saying?
Another mother?
Yes, brother from another mother. My coach, my professor. But with that said, like I said, I said what I had to say. Coach Prince, take him out with our trademark.
That's right. You know what? All right, guys, y'all watch the fights. And remember something. Keep punching. Don't get punch drunk. Peace.